We aspired, we prepared, we scored and soared. 10 plus students from grade up scored under top 10 in GATE 2021. Let's take a look at them. जैसे सही प्रेप के साथ इनकी लाइफ सेट हो गई, आपकी भी वैसी हो सकती है। Avail live classes and daily study plans, expert faculty, best study material from grade up today and get a step closer to achieving your dreams. क्योंकि grade up के साथ सही प्रेप है तो लाइफ सेट है। We aspired, we prepared, we scored and soared. 10 plus students from grade up scored under top 10 in GATE 2021. Let's take a look at them. जैसे सही प्रेप के साथ इनकी लाइफ सेट हो गई, आपकी भी वैसी हो सकती है। Avail live classes and daily study plans, expert faculty, best study material from grade up today and get a step closer to achieving your dreams. क्योंकि grade up के साथ सही प्रेप है तो लाइफ सेट है। We aspired, we prepared, we scored and soared. 10 plus students from grade up scored under top 10 in GATE 2021. Let's take a look at them. जैसे सही प्रेप के साथ इनकी लाइफ सेट हो गई, आपकी भी वैसी हो सकती है। Avail live classes and daily study plans, expert faculty, best study material from grade up today and get a step closer to achieving your dreams. क्योंकि grade up के साथ सही प्रेप है तो लाइफ सेट है। We aspired, we prepared, we scored and soared. 10 plus students from grade up scored under top 10 in GATE 2021. Let's take a look at them.
Hello friends, I welcome you all on India's largest and number one e-learning educational platform, that is GradeUp. Aman, how are you? Good afternoon. Electro, Chandrima, Sunil, everybody, welcome to the session. How are you? All the candidates who are joining me live, just quickly confirm your presence in the comment section and tell me whether my audio, visual quality, everything is clear. Good afternoon, Deep. How are you? I welcome you all on India's largest e-learning educational platform. Friends, today we are going to have the 14th episode for current affairs for your engineering services examination 2021. I hope you are following the lectures because these lectures are very, very important. And these lectures are going to be complete in all respects. So if you are following this series for current affairs, you do not require any other resource, any other material, because what we are dealing is going to be very comprehensive as far as your examination is concerned, and we are covering every facet, every dimension of your examination requirement. Yes, good afternoon, Jagan, Deep, Shashank, everybody. Welcome to the session. So friends, let's start. And before I start, all the candidates who are going to watch me on YouTube, just quickly like, share and subscribe the session. Okay, everybody, welcome to the session. Some of you may be joining me for the first time, so there is a brief introduction about myself. My name is Ashutosh. As you can see on the screen, I have 10 plus years of teaching experience, completed MTech from IIT BHU in 2010, written a couple of books. And my areas of expertise are power system, electrical machines, electromagnetic field theory, material science, and obviously engineering ethics. Friends, let us talk about the Vision 2022 course, which is one of the most exhaustive, elaborated and comprehensive course for any engineer. It gives you 850 plus hours of live classes, 8000 plus good quality practice questions, 100 plus mock test and 120 plus chapter wise study notes. For any further clarification, you can contact this number 965005290. Yes, everybody. My friend, in India, cricket is like a festival, and that is why GradeUp is offering you अच्छे score की Z flat 45% off on GradeUp Super subscription, you can use this code mantra45, but let me tell you, these coupons are limited in number. So if you are thinking of joining the GradeUp Super subscription, this is the right time. Yes, good afternoon, Shrishti. Within this class link, you will be getting the PDFs, and all the remaining PDFs will be uploaded very soon. Don't worry. I told you that just give me 1 day time and all the PDFs will be uploaded. So don't worry. My friend, the last obstacle was in your online education or e-learning was internet. And now the GradeUp is giving you the solution for that also. If you are going to join GradeUp Super subscription, you will be getting free internet facility. So if you are willing to join it, you can go for it. Yes, everybody. Everybody who is watching me on GradeUp Gate YouTube channel, just quickly like, share and subscribe the session. And let us start with the first issue that we are going to discuss. Project Kirana. Project Kirana is a program, is a scheme launched by the MasterCard and USAID partner for women entrepreneurship. You please remember these keywords. The moment you see in your examination paper Project Kirana, you must be able to recognize, remember that it is related to women entrepreneurs. Okay? Now let us see what is inside. To enable women entrepreneurs to launch, grow and thrive, MasterCard and United States Agency for International Development announced their partnership to launch Project Kirana. The focus will specifically be on building financial and literacy skills, and the topics will include banking, digital payment, savings and credit, as well as insurance also. So the focus target beneficiary is women entrepreneurs. Now Uttar Pradesh is being chosen for this particular Project Kirana, and why it is being chosen, let us try to understand. It is the most populous states of India. A large number of people are engaged in informal sector. Also, more than 10.3% of women population in the state are employed in MSME, and also the state has the largest number of MSME in India. Now, this is important statement and come in your examination in number of ways. Whenever I put something star, something underline that is important for you, you should keep that in your mind, or you can take note of that. Short notes you can also make. Is it clear? Is it clear? So it's basically about women entrepreneurs, and it is about digital literacy. Anything related to digital this year is going to be very, very important. Digital and financial literacy of the women in the state. It will improve business management skills of the women. Everybody is okay with this Project Kirana? Yes? Can you remember this Project Kirana, women entrepreneurship, USAID and MasterCard? These are the two organizing agencies. Yes, everybody? Let us see the next. Swamitva scheme. Swamitva scheme is a central sector scheme launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India on National Panchayat Day. When we are celebrating National Panchayat Day? It is coming soon, 24th of April. The Ministry of Panchayati Raj is the nodal ministry for implementation of the scheme. Now this is important. Can we ask? Ministry of Panchayati Raj is the nodal ministry for implementing this scheme. This is important. In the states, the Revenue Department, Land Records Department will be the nodal department and shall carry out the scheme, the support of State Panchayati Raj Department. So at the state level, revenue departments, land record departments are going to be the nodal agency to channelize this scheme. The Survey of India shall work as the technology partner for the implementation. Now, what does this scheme aims? This scheme aims to provide an integrated property validation solution. Integrated property validation solution for rural India. What is the meaning of this Swamitva? Swamitva means ownership. So from here you can relate it. It aims at providing an integrated property validation solution for rural India. The demarcation of rural Abadi areas would be done using drone surveying technology. This would provide the records of right to the village household owners possessing houses in inhabited rural areas in villages, which in turn would enable them to use their property as a financial asset for taking loans and other financial benefits from the bank. तो सीधी सीधी अगर मुद्दे की बात करें कि गांव में जो खाली जमीन पड़ी हुई है, ओके, द unattended lands in the village sectors, those are being identified with the ownership, and that is the main aim of this scheme, Swamitra scheme, and this can be used for the village people for availing the financial benefits and loan facility. Can you remember this scheme? If Swamitra scheme is coming, can you relate it to ownership, rural lands? Which ministry is the nodal ministry? Yes, everybody. Shraddhanjali, Mahavir, how are you? Good afternoon, beta. Welcome to the session. This scheme seeks to achieve the following objectives: to bring financial stability to the citizens in the rural India by enabling them to use their property as a financial asset for taking loans and other financial benefits; creation of accurate land records for rural planning. So the basic idea is accurate land records, basically for rural areas. Determination of property tax which would accrue to the Gram Panchayats directly in the states where it is developed or else add to the state exchequer. Creation of survey infrastructure and GIS maps that can be leveraged by the department for any use. To support in preparation of better quality Gram Panchayat development plan by making use of GIS maps to reduce property related disputes and legal cases. This is one of the important statement that can be asked in your examination. Whatever I am underlining, that is important for your exam. Now today the major thrust area that we will be focusing is some of the economic issues today we want to discuss, because they are also going to come in your examination. Understanding the terms related to economics, let me first tell you what is the approach. See, at your level, if I ask you or anybody else ask you to first go through the basic terms and terminology of economics and then read about these issues, it is not going to be a viable option, because if you read all the basics part of economics, then it will take at least 1 month for you to prepare with the background. So what is the way forward? See, the way forward is that whatever you are reading, suppose you are reading price to book ratio. Now there is a possibility that you will be having some confusions, you may not be having the clarity about some of the technical terms. Those individual terms you can read either from the internet or any specific textbook. If you are having for economy, you can read from there. But I think the best way is you read on internet, because internet you will be getting a crisp understanding, crisp answer. So this is the way you should go forward with the issues and terms related to the economy part, because you don't have that sufficient time buffer to read the basics of economy. So it is better you go as per the case. Whatever issue you are reading, that you must understand. One important term which is right now in news and can be asked in your examination related to economy is price to book ratio. What is this price to book ratio? Companies use this price to book ratio to compare a firm's market capitalization to its book value. Now you must understand what is the meaning of market capitalization. Okay. Market capitalization you can understand. Suppose there are 100 firms in the Indian market. Now, apart from the actual value is book value. What is book value? Total value, total assets minus total debt. भाई मान लीजिए आपकी 100 करोड़ की पूरी टोटल एसेट की वर्थ है और 50 करोड़ का आपके ऊपर लोन है, तो आपकी बुक वैल्यू क्या हुई? बुक वैल्यू हुई 50 करोड़. 100 minus 50 is your book value. Let me just repeat. What is book value? I am repeating. Suppose your total worth is 100 crore and you have 50 crore debt. Debt means कर्जा है. You have total 100 crores worth and 50 crore is debt. So 100 minus 50 is your book value. Are you getting that? What is market capitalization? Market capitalization means suppose there are 100 firms, 100 companies in the Indian market. Apart from their book value, a company may be having an overarching dominated presence in the market. So market is going to decide that what is the present state of a particular company overall in the market. So that is what we are calling as market capitalization. कि market में उसकी value क्या है? The value of that organization company in the market. Now it is calculated by dividing the company's stock price per share by its book value per share. Okay. An asset's book value is equal to its carrying value on the balance sheet and companies calculate it netting the asset against its accumulated depreciation. जितना उनके पास asset है और जितना उसमें depreciation है उसकी net value को निकालकर हम book value निकालते हैं. Book value is also tangible net asset value of a company calculated as total assets minus intangible assets like patents, goodwill and liabilities. For the initial outlay of an investment, book value may be net or gross of expenses such as trading costs, sales tax and service charges. Some people may know this ratio by its less common name, the price equity ratio. So by this term, they can also ask you a question. Price equity ratio. The price to book ratio measures the market valuation of a company relative to its book value. बेसिक सी बात है कि उसकी जो एक्चुअल कॉस्ट है उसके कंपैरिजन में मार्केट में उसका डोमिनेशन कितना है, मार्केट में उसकी वैल्यू कितनी है, वो आपको प्राइस और बुक रेशियो बताएगा. द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी इज टिपिकली हायर देन द बुक वैल्यू ऑफ अ कंपनी. और जनरली ऐसा हो गई, इफ अ कंपनी इज डूइंग गुड इन द मार्केट, डेफिनेटली द मार्केट वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी मोर देन इट्स वैल्यू ऑन द पेपर. सो दैट इज व्हाट दिस रेशियो इज टेलिंग यू. The price to book ratio is used by value investors. It is basically for investors to identify potential investments. Price to book ratios under 1 are typically considered solid investments. अब इस स्टेटमेंट को समझना बहुत जरूरी है. प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो अगर 1 के नीचे है तो इसका मतलब क्या है, बात समझ रहे हो? प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो 1 के नीचे होने का मतलब क्या है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ लेस देन 1 प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो? देखो सीधी सी मतलब है, प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो लेस देन 1, इसका मतलब क्या है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग? द वैल्यू ऑफ द कंपनी इन द मार्केट, द वैल्यूएशन ऑफ द कंपनी इन द मार्केट इज लेस एंड ऑन पेपर इट्स टोटल एसेट्स माइनस टोटल लायबिलिटीज और इंटेंजिबल एसेट्स यू कैन से इज मोर. Are you getting that? It means even though today I don't have that valuation in the market, but I am rock solid from the ground. My base is strong. I have 100 crores in my pocket. Even if today I don't have that market valuation, but still I have the money to invest and get returns. That is why it is called as solid investments. Now this can be asked in your examination, that if the price to book ratios are below 1, then they are solid investments, or different ways they can ask you. Next, in other words, if a company is liquidated all its assets and paid off all its debt, the value remaining would be the company's book value. So that is nothing but what is the book value? Total assets minus all its debt. The price to book ratio provides a valuable reality check for investors seeking growth at a reasonable price and is often looked at in conjunction with the return on equity, a reliable growth indicator. Return on equity means suppose you are going to buy a company's share. Suppose 100 shares you are buying for a company. So what is the return you are getting on those shares? That is your return on equity. Everybody is getting the idea, not just tell me. At least simple terms which we are able to understand, that we must understand, because if these are being asked in your examination, that you must be in a situation to answer them. This is what we are trying to understand. Yes, Iti, Irkas, how are you? Good afternoon. Srishti, are you waiting? Okay. Large discrepancies between the price to book ratio and return on equity often sends up a red flag on the companies. Overvalued growth stocks frequently show a combination of low ROE and high price to book ratio. If a company's ROE is growing, its PIB ratio should also be growing. This is important, can be related and can be asked in your examination. देखो सीधी सी बात है ये. अब देखो इकोनॉमी के अंदर अगर आप बहुत घुस के देखोगे तो आपको लगेगा ये तो बहुत सिंपल सी बात है. ये बेसिक सी बात कह रहा है कि भाई अगर आपका प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो हाई है, ध्यान से समझना, प्राइस टू बुक रेशियो हाई है, इसका मतलब क्या है? इट मीन्स योर मार्केट वैल्यूएशन इज हाई इन कंपेरिजन टू योर बुक वैल्यू. अभिलाष इज सेइंग आई डिडंट गेट रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी. सपोज एक कंपनी है, suppose there is a company and you are buying 100 shares of this company. 100 shares you are buying and per share price when you bought it is, you are buying it 100 rupees per share. टोटल कितना पैसा आपने लगा दिया कंपनी में? 10,000. ठीक है. सपोज कुछ समय बाद शेयर तो आपके पास 100 ही है, बट पर शेयर जो वैल्यू है वो कितनी हो गई? 110. तो इफ टुडे Ramesh, I am not the right person to answer this. And general ability I am not taking. Who told you general ability? I am taking general. I don't know who is taking general ability. You talk to the backend team, they will tell you. Yes, Manu, Yashaswini, how are you? Good afternoon. Are you getting that? You have taken 100 shares. One share cost at that point of time is 100 rupees. Total investment you have made is 10,000. Now, this is called equity. How much stakes you are having in that company? How much stakes you are having in this company? 100 shares is your stake. If you get the benefit, then you will, if the company is doing good, then you will get benefit. If the company is doing bad, then you will lose. Now, if now the market price, as per the market price, the share value is 100 rupees, 110 rupees per share. So how much you are getting? You are getting 11,000. 10,000 you have invested, 11,000 you are getting. So what is the return you are getting? 1,000. But these 1,000 you are getting out of 100 shares. So this is your return on equity. Are you getting that? Abhilash ji, are you listening? You are listening. This is a return on equity. Now what I was telling you, that he is saying there should not be any large difference or discrepancy between the price to book ratio and the return on equity. And that is a true thing. If you are saying price to book ratio is a higher number, is growing, it means what? It means return on equity should be more. Are you getting this or not? Now, when a company is going to be red flagged, listen very carefully. Suppose price to book ratio is weak and return on equity is very large. Now you can imagine a company, from inside it is hollow. There is nothing inside the company, but there is a bubble in the market, because of which its share prices are rising. So what is happening? You have just invested 10,000 rupees and just after 1 year you are getting 1 lakh rupees. So what you will do? You will invest more. More people are going to invest, but there is a possibility, because from inside the company is hollow, blank, book value is very less, there is a possibility this company may run away and your money is going to be lost. So these kind of fraud companies are being red flagged if there is a large discrepancy between the price to book ratio and the return on equity. Everybody just tell me, are you getting this? Nothing can be more simple than this in economy. Yeah, everybody, Abhilash. Gini index. We were discussing about Gini index. I told you as a part of your homework to read about this Gini coefficient or Gini index. It was important. The Gini index or Gini coefficient, I told you it's a measure of distribution of income. It is basically talking about income inequality across a population developed by Italian statistician Corrado Gini in 1912. और उन्हीं के नाम पर इसका नाम रख दिया गया Gini coefficient. It is often used as a gauge. Gauge means to measure. To measure economic inequality. Now, my friend, let me tell you, this is not civil services. This is engineering services. Engineering services, they are not going to ask you up to so much depth. The moment you see Gini index, one of the option will be economic inequality, and you should be able to identify it. Your job is done. You will get the marks and you will get selected. Are you getting that? It measures income distribution, or less commonly wealth distribution among a population. The coefficient ranges from 0 to 1, with 0 representing perfect equality. This is important. Now this can be asked. 0 means perfect equality and 1 means perfect inequality. Values over 1 are theoretically possible due to the negative income or wealth. Negative income or wealth. Arey Baba, what do you want me to elaborate? I am elaborating na. Yes, I am trying to elaborate. Just please have the patience. I have not finished Gini coefficient or Gini index. Please have patience. The Gini index is a measure of the distribution of income across a population. The higher Gini index indicates greater inequality. This statement can be asked. With the high income individuals receiving much larger percentage of the total income of the population, global inequality as measured by the Gini index increased over the 19th and 20th century, but has declined in more recent years because of the data and other limitations. The Gini index may overstate income inequality and can obscure important information about income distribution. Okay. Now this Lorenz curve is actually graphical representation of Gini index income inequality. It is a graphical representation, Lorenz curve. A Lorenz curve is a graphical representation of income equality or wealth inequality adopted by American economics Max Lorenz in 1905. The graph plots percentiles of population on the horizontal axis according to income or wealth. A Lorenz curve is a graphical representation. Okay. Lorenz curves graph percentiles of the population against cumulative income or wealth of the people at or below that percentile. Sorry. Now at your level they will be asking Lorenz curve, you relate it to the Gini coefficient which measures income inequality across a population. Okay, the Lorenz curve, the third statement, is often accompanied by a straight diagonal line with a slope of 1 which represents perfect equality in income or wealth distribution. Lorenz curve lies beneath it, showing the observed or estimated distribution. The area between the straight line and the curved line expressed as a ratio of the area under the straight line is called the Gini coefficient. ठीक है, तो ये है कहानी. ये होगा आपका लॉरेंस कर्व. दिस इज योर लॉरेंस कर्व. दिस इज द लाइन ऑफ इक्वालिटी at 45 degrees. Okay, now how this Gini coefficient is decided? It is the area between the straight line and the curved line. So first you have to find this area, gray area, that is A. Okay, as a ratio of the area under the straight line. Area, what is the area under the straight line? This area A and this area B. A plus B. So this is what we are defining as Gini index. At your level, they are not going to ask this much, but you must have the clarity, otherwise how you are. There is some problem with the voice. See, when I am dealing with the content on the screen, because I don't have eyes on my back, so definitely I can't read your statement. You must have the patience when you are on e-learning platform, because there is a 14-second delay. When I am speaking something, it takes 14 seconds to reach up to you. When you say, write something or speak something, it means almost 5-7 seconds delay. So almost it is a 20-second delay. So you should have the patience to wait. Okay, don't become so impatient, Abhilash. It is not that I am not reading. I usually read every single statement in the comment section. You didn't get the Lorentz curve. Okay. Lorentz curve is the graphical representation of income equality. Okay. Now on the horizontal axis, it is the cumulative share of the people from lowest to highest incomes, and vertical axis is cumulative shares of income earned. Now this is the straight line. This straight line tells you the perfect equality. And how this Gini index is being measured from this Lorentz curve is, this is your Lorentz curve. Lorentz curve is always below this perfect equality line, and how much this Lorentz curve is far. जितना ये इससे दूर होगा उतना ज़्यादा हमारे समाज में, हमारे इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम में इनकम इनइक्वालिटी होगी. जितना इसके क्लोज होगा, क्योंकि ये परफेक्ट इक्वालिटी की लाइन है ना, दिस इज द लाइन ऑफ परफेक्ट इक्वालिटी 45 डिग्रीज. सो हाउ मच दिस लॉरेंस कर्व इज क्लोजर, इट मीन्स income distribution is good, and how much it is away from this straight line, it is more and more income inequality. मानो बेटा इनकम इनइक्वालिटी का मतलब क्या है? लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड फर्स्ट. Perfect equality. What is perfect equality? Suppose X is the total income. X is the total income. Okay? And P is the per capita. Sorry. P is the working population, suppose. Are you getting this? Now per person or per capita income, how you are going to find? X by P. Manu, are you getting that? Total income, total working population. So you will get per person or per capita income. This is the basic idea. Now we want to know most of the working population in our society, in our country, their income is closer to this or in variation to this. सीधी सी बात है ना भाई, सबके पास इतनी इनकम आनी चाहिए. अगर आप इंडिया का निकालोगे तो अंदाजन कितना आना चाहिए, जरा बताओ मुझे. गूगल पर देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. हाँ हाँ, आपको ऑफलाइन भी मिल जाएगा बेटा, इसको आप ऐसे डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। अभी ये यूट्यूब पर भी चलता है, आज यूट्यूब पर नहीं चल रहा है क्योंकि यूट्यूब वाला कुछ प्रॉब्लम था, तो अभी ये अपलोड हो जाएगा, यूट्यूब पर भी अपलोड हो जाएगा। ग्रेड अप गेट यूट्यूब चैनल है, उस पर 13 सेशंस हो चुके हैं। आर यू गेटिंग दैट? चलो और सिंपल, इसको और सिंपल बनाते हैं। इंडियन पॉपुलेशन कितनी है? 130 करोड़। इंडियन पॉपुलेशन कितनी है? 130 करोड़, ठीक है। टोटल इनकम मिला लो, इंडिया की जितनी भी वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन है उसकी कितनी है, उसको 130 करोड़ से डिवाइड कर दो, या जो भी वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन है उससे डिवाइड कर दो, सपोज 50 करोड़ जितनी भी है उससे डिवाइड कर दो, तो आपको पर कैपिटा का मतलब पर पर्सन इनकम मिल गया। अब आपको यह देखना है कि जितने भी वर्किंग इंडिविजुअल्स हैं उनकी जो इनकम है वो इससे कितना वेरी कर रही है। हमारे समाज में हो सकता है कि जो वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन का 99% हो वो बहुत कम कमा रहा है, और जो 1% है वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन का उसकी इनकम बहुत ज्यादा है। तो इनकम इनइक्वालिटी हो गया ना। कुछ लोग बहुत ज्यादा कमा रहे हैं, कुछ लोग बहुत कम कमा रहे हैं। लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड इट इन English also. In our society, in our system, we want that income must be distributed as equally as possible. But what is happening? 99% of the working population, their incomes are very, very less in comparison to this value. And there are 1% of the population, working population, whose incomes are extremely high in comparison to this. It means that there is income inequality. 1% people, they are earning like anything, and 99% of the working population, they are earning very less. How it is possible? अरे भैया, धीरू भाई अंबानी लाखों हजारों करोड़ों कमा रहे हैं, तुम पूरा बीटेक करके और आईआईटी से भी कर लोगे तो बहुत ज्यादा कमा लोगे, तो एक महीने में 2-4-5 लाख रुपए कमा लोगे, इससे ज्यादा थोड़ी कमाओगे। विकास जी कह रहे हैं कि ये हर एक इंडिविजुअल का नहीं है बेटा, ये तो मैं समझाने के लिए एक इंडिविजुअल के बारे में बोल रहा हूं। इट्स नॉट अबाउट इंडिविजुअल, इट्स अबाउट टोटल परसेंटाइल ऑफ वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन एंड टोटल इनकम। सो जब हम उसको प्लॉट करते हैं, व्हेन वी प्लॉट इट इन टर्म्स cumulative, okay, so this curve you are getting with the cumulative share of people from lowest to the highest incomes and the incomes earned by them. This is the straight line, this is the perfect equality, and how much this curve is going to be deviating from this, it means more and more inequality you are getting. You can understand this is the inequality. See, don't go into public job and private job. Okay, very less people are having government job. When we talk about jobs, in general, we are talking about private jobs. Okay, in any country, there are very extremely less people are there in the government job. Are you getting this idea or not? You understand the crux of the situation. You have to answer the question in the examination. You are not going to do PhD in the economics. What we are learning from the Lorenz curve, it is a graphical representation of the income inequality. How the incomes are going to be unequal in terms of its distribution over the working population. That's it. Now, how questions can be asked? How the Gini index is being calculated? The area under this straight line and the Lorenz curve is A, and the area under this Lorenz curve and this straight line, horizontal line, is B. So, A upon A plus B is the Gini index. Now let us try to understand K-shaped recovery. What is this K-shaped recovery? Let us try to understand. Now why this is important, please try to understand. K-shaped recovery occurs when following a recession. Following a recession means once there is a recession, after that, different parts of the economy recover at different rates, times and magnitude. This is important. Nowadays it is in news. Suppose a country is right now in a recession. You know what is a recession, okay? For the 2 consecutives, we have read about this recession, what is technical recession. For 2 consecutive quarters, If there is a negative growth, then it means it's a recession. Now, when it's a recession, after the recession is over, the different sectors of the economy are going to be recovering at different time, different rates, and different magnitude. This is in contrast to an even uniform recovery across sectors, industries, or group of people. Now, one thing is that there is a uniform recovery. Everything is going down, then everything is going up. But in the real situation, all the sectors of the economy, they cannot recover at the same time, same rate, and same magnitude. So this interesting fact is identified, this K-shaped recovery. A K-shaped recovery leads to changes in the structure of the economy. Now this is extremely important. This is extremely important, leads to changes in the structure of the economy. I can give you the best example of this. I don't know whether you have identified this thing or not. Before the pandemic situation and during the pandemic situation and after the pandemic situation, the cost of electronic goods has increased. Laptops, webcam, all the accessories. Because everybody has to work from home. So everybody is supposed to be connected to the internet. Everybody is supposed to have their personal belongings so that they can do their job from the home. Are you getting that? Are you getting that or not? It means after the recession, the different recoveries in different sectors, they are going to have a changes in the structure of the economy or the broader society as economic outcomes and relations are fundamentally changed before and after the recession. This type of recovery is called K-shaped because the path of different parts of the economy when charted together may diverge and resemble the K term. तो वो कुछ इस तरीके का आएगा. तो ये K लेटर जैसा लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है? अभी इसका हम ग्राफ भी देखेंगे. A K-shaped recovery is one in which the performance of different parts of the economy diverges like the arms of letter K. The economic performance of different sectors, industries, and groups within an economy always differ to some extent, but in a K-shaped recovery, some parts of the economy, this is important, some parts of the economy may see strong growth while others continue to decline. Now, this is the crux of K recovery. And there is no rocket science. If you can understand machines, power system, Young's modulus, and so many different important things, difficult things, then this is like child's play for you. This is like eating ice cream. Okay. Unlike other letter-shaped descriptions which focuses on large aggregators, the K-shaped recovery is described in terms of data broken out across the different parts of the economy. The meaning of a K-shaped recovery really depends on the choices of how to disaggregate data across the economy. Now, this is your K-shaped recovery. Almost every country in the world, because of the COVID situation, they have faced the recession situation. So, this is prior to COVID-19, all the sectors were growing together. During the economic recession, everything fall down. And during the recovery period, there are some sectors, blue sectors, which are doing good. What are the recovery industries? Technology, retail, software services. Do you appreciate it or not? Understand it? And there are some sectors of the economy which are going down, like travel. Nobody wants to travel. Corona. Entertainment. Nobody is going to see movie in the theater. Parks. Hospitality. Food services. Everything is going down. So it looks like letter K, that is why it is called K-shaped recovery. I hope that if you are getting a question on this, now you do not require any revision and you will be able to answer it. Everybody just tell me in the comment section. Are you able to follow this? V-shaped recovery. V-shaped recovery is a type of economic recession and recovery that resembles a V-shape. Specifically, a V-shaped recovery represents the shape of a chart of economic measures economists create when examining recessions and recoveries. It involves a sharp rise back to the previous peak after a sharp decline in the matrix. बेसिक सी बात है, सारे सेक्टर्स नीचे गए और सारे सेक्टर्स साउथ उठ गए, साथ में उठ गए, तो क्या बन गया? वी शेप्ड रिकवरी. A V-shaped recovery is characterized by a quick and sustained recovery in measures of economic performance after a sharp economic decline. Because of the speed of economic adjustment and recovery in macroeconomic performance, a V-shaped recovery is the best case scenario after the recession. Best case scenario given the recession. The recoveries that followed the recessions of 1920, 21 and 1953 in US, they are the examples of V-shaped recovery. In a V-shaped recovery, after the economy suffers a sharp economic decline, it quickly and it strongly recovers. That is V-shaped. Such recoveries are generally spurred by a significant shift in economic activity caused by rapid readjustment of consumer demand and business investment spending. Because of the rapid adjustment of the economy and quick recovery, a major aggregate matrix of macroeconomic performance, a V-shaped recovery can be thought of as a kind of best case scenario after this. Now, what is a W-shaped recovery? W-shaped recovery refers to an economic cycle of recession and recovery that resembles the letter W in charting. The W-shaped recovery represents the shape of the chart of certain economic measures such as employment, GDP, industrial output and others. The W-shaped recovery involves a sharp decline in these matrices followed by a sharp rise back upward. ठीक है, तो कुछ ऐसा होगा, डिक्लाइन हुआ, राइज हुआ, there is a decline, then rise, then decline, then rise. So it is resembling W. Is it clear? Are you getting this? There is a sharp decline, this is the sharp decline, okay, followed by a sharp rise back upward, sharp rise back upward, followed again by a sharp decline and ending with another sharp rise. So it is like W. I hope you are able to follow this. The middle section of the W can represent a significant bear market or a recovery that was stifled by an additional economic crisis. Now this is important, this can be asked. If you see in this recovery, this portion refers a bear market. Bear market means, bearish market means the market is going down because of some additional economic crisis. A W-shaped recovery is when an economy passes through a recession into recovery and then immediately turns down into another recession. When charted major economic performance indicators form the shape of letter W, this. U-shaped recovery. U-shaped recovery is a type of economic recession and recovery that resembles a U-shaped. When charted, U-shaped recovery represents the shape of the chart of certain economic measures such as employment, GDP, industrial output. This shape occurs when the economy experiences a sharp decline in these metrics without a clearly defined through, but instead a period of stagnation. Period of stagnation. Period of stagnation. What is the meaning of stagnation? No growth or decline. Static. Followed by a relatively healthy rise back to its previous peak. A U-shaped recovery is similar to a V-shaped recovery. Expect that economy spends a longer time slogging along the bottom of the recession. When it is dropped, it is lower for some sufficient period of time before it rises again. A U-shaped recovery is so called because measures of the economic performance taken the shape of U. So this is I think you can understand this. Phillips curve. Now this is important. This Phillips curve, it is related to unemployment. Now let me tell you, before we deal inside what is this Phillips curve, the moment, okay Vikas, I am coming to your point, wait. At your level in the engineering services examination, the moment you see this question Phillips curve, one of the option given will be unemployment and you have to just take it, your job is done, examination over, you are being selected. What is the bearish market? See, when you talk about the market, when you talk about the market, there are market trends. Okay, if you see the economy page in the newspaper, okay, if you see the economy page in one of the newspaper, market is bullish. Bullish market is like this. The market is growing, increasing. Trends means that it is giving you higher investment. Today, if you invest 100 rupees, then there is a higher possibility tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or in near future, you are going to get good returns. Now there is a bearish market. Bearish market means it is going down. Bearish market means if today you are investing 100 rupees, then tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you will be getting 90, 80 or less returns. So bearish market means the market is going down. Bullish market means it is going up. This is the meaning of bearish and bullish market. Phillips curve. A Phillips curve is an economic concept developed by A.W. Phillips stating that inflation and unemployment have a stable and inverse relationship. Stable and inverse relationship. The theory claims that with economic growth comes inflation. How many of you understand inflation? Everybody just tell me. You know what is inflation? Mudrasfiti. What is inflation? Everybody knows or not? If you are not comfortable, I am not going to the economic terms, but I will give you a simple understanding so that you can understand what is inflation. You know this or not? Tell me. Yes, everyone. Okay, you are confused, so I will be giving you some understanding. Let us try to understand what is inflation. Okay, see, I don't have money right now. Okay, I don't keep money here in my office. Suppose this is 100 rupees note. Suppose this is 100 rupees note. Let me just a moment. Can you imagine that it is 100 rupees note? Yes. Can you imagine that it is 100 rupees note? Now do you understand? Can you assume? Suppose it is 100 rupees notes. Okay. Now suppose today you have this 100 rupees with you and you go to the market. You go to the market. Now what you can buy out of this 100 rupees? It is your choice. Whatever you want, you can buy. Are you getting that? Today, what you can buy in 100 rupees? Are you getting that? Now go to 20 years back. 20 years back. I'm just giving you a reference point. Even you can go 5 years back also. Because to understand this point, you have to go to 20 years back. 20 years back, when you were very small, this much small, and ask your parents or father, 20 years before, what they can buy in this 100 rupees. They will say a lot of things. It means inflation means the actual value of your money has reduced. This is inflation. जिसको हिंदी में कॉमन लोग क्या बोलते हैं, महंगाई हो गई. महंगाई का मतलब क्या है? भाई पहले 100 रुपए में घर का राशन आ सकता था. आज 100 रुपए में हो सकता है एक आइसक्रीम भी ना आ पाए, अच्छी कंपनी की ब्रांड की आप आइसक्रीम खाने जाओगे तो 400-500 रुपए की होगी। तो द वैल्यू ऑफ द एक्चुअल वैल्यू ऑफ द मनी इज रिड्यूस्ड। आर यू रीडिंग दिस और नॉट? इसी को इकोनॉमिक टर्म्स में बोलते हैं परचेजिंग पावर। इन technical words of economy we call it purchasing power. When your purchasing power has reduced, then it is called inflation. Simple terms, nothing can be more simple than this. What is inflation? When your purchasing power has reduced, you have 100 rupees in your pocket, but you are not able to get tummy full food. Why? Because the purchasing power has reduced. 20 years before also you were having 100 rupees. Today also you have 100 rupees. But 20 years back, 5 people can eat in 100 rupees. Today, one person can't get tummy full food. I hope everybody is getting that. So Phillips curve says, theory claims that with economic growth comes inflation, which in turn should lead to more jobs, less employment. However, the original concept has been somewhat disproven empirically due to the occurrence of stagflation. What is stagflation? We'll understand, don't worry about it. 1970s, when there was high levels of both inflation and unemployment. High levels of both inflation and unemployment. The Phillips curve states that inflation and unemployment have an inverse relationship. Higher inflation, ज़्यादा महंगाई है, associated with lower unemployment and vice versa. The Phillips curve was a concept used to guide macroeconomic policy in the 20th century, but was called into question by the stagflation of 1970. This is important. Understanding the Phillips curve in the light of consumer and the worker expectation shows that the relationship between inflation and unemployment may not hold in long run and even potentially in the short run. This. The concept behind the Phillips curve states that a change in unemployment within economy has a predictable effect on the price inflation. The inverse relationship between unemployment, this, increasing the inflation, decreasing unemployment. इस कहानी इसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. Let us try to understand what it wants to say. फिलिप्स जी ने ये कहा, ध्यान से सुनना, ये है इन्फ्लेशन वाई एक्सिस एंड दिस इज द अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट. यहां पर क्या है, सपोज आप कोई एक टर्म लो, बी वाले पॉइंट को ले लो. बी वाले पॉइंट पर इन्फ्लेशन इज हाई एंड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट is less. Unemployment less means there is more employment. Yes or no? बात समझ में आ रही है? Yes, Ajay, it will be available later also. Don't worry, you can download it also. First you understand the concept. Phillips जी ने ये कहा, Phillips said that there is an inverse relation between the inflation and unemployment rate. But before you are able to understand this, I want to ask you one basic question. Inflation is good or bad? If you can answer this question, then you will be able to understand what is the meaning of this Phillips curve, and you will never ever forget what type of question they are going to ask. Everybody just tell me quickly. Are you getting this or not? Inflation is good or bad? सृष्टि जी कह रही हैं कि ये दोनों होते हैं, अच्छा भी है बुरा भी है. No my friend, listen carefully. Listen carefully. A growing economy a certain level of inflation is required. इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट, इंडिया के हिसाब से 4 to 5%, because it is a developing country, it is developing at a faster pace, not right now. Yes, Vikas, you're right. Very high inflation is bad, but a certain level of inflation is good. What is the meaning of inflation? Inflation means the purchasing power of people is reducing. Are you getting that? Now, why the purchasing power of people are reducing? Please try to understand. Why the purchasing power? अरे पहले सुन ले बेटा, सुन ले, पहले सुन ले, सुनने की क्षमता रखो, सुनोगे नहीं तो समझोगे कैसे? समझने की पहली प्रक्रिया है, फर्स्ट लेवल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज टू लिसन। हमारे सारे देश में जितनी भी टोटल एसेट्स हैं, गुड्स हैं, सर्विसेज हैं, उनकी कॉस्ट है सपोज 1 रुपए। द कॉस्ट ऑफ टोटल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, दैट इज नथिंग बट जीडीपी, ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट। द कॉस्ट ऑफ टोटल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इन अवर इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम इज 1 rupee, suppose. Are you getting that? That is the actual value. But the money which is circulating in the market is more than 1 rupee. Total actual cost is 1 rupee, but the money which is circulating, who publishes the money? Reserve Bank. So what Reserve Bank does? Reserve Bank gives more circulation of money. Suppose these are the total values of goods and services in the country, and this is the money circulated in the market. Are you getting that? Are you getting that? Now, when this is the situation, these values will increase to achieve this. So definitely for a growing economy, can you see the economy growing? Can you see the economy growing? Always the money circulated in the market is little higher than the total value, actual value of goods and services in the country. Are you getting that? Are you getting that or not? When there is more money circulated in the market beyond a certain value, then inflation is very high, and that is bad for the economy. Are you getting that? Now what Phillips is saying, when inflation is very high, there is more money in the market. More money in the market is distributed among the people. It means there is more job. So less unemployment. When there is more inflation, more money circulating in the market than the actual value, more money circulating in the market means there must be people earning that money, circulating that money. It means there is less unemployment, and less unemployment means more and more people are employed. Yes, Abhilash, you don't worry about RBI is very efficient in that. Are you getting that? But there is one exception to this curve, and that exception to this curve is stagflation. What is stagflation? This can be asked in your exam. Some years ago this was asked in UPSC. What is stagflation? Stagflation is characterized by slow economic growth and relatively high unemployment. It means growth is also less and unemployment is also very high. This is called as economic stagflation, which is at the same time accompanied by rising prices. It means inflation is also high and unemployment is also high. So this curve is wrong in the case of stagflation. This is the exception. Inflation is also high and unemployment is also high. Is it clear? So there is some more portion which I wanted to discuss, but that I will discuss in the next session because we are running short of time. So let me just conclude the session now. My friend, everybody allow me to just conclude the session because we are running beyond 1 hour. These are the different batches which are going to be started, my friend. Vision 2023 first batch is starting. Vision Gate 2022 Hindi audience batch is also starting. This is for electrical. You can watch it for your respective stream, engineering stream on the app. or you can talk to our counselors also. One more batch is starting 20th of April, Vision 2022 for ESE and GATE electrical aspirants. These are the free app classes. All the electrical candidates can take the snapshot, and all other engineering stream candidates, you can watch them on the GradeUp app or your respective faculties. Thank you, Abhilash, for your comments. Thank you so much. So everybody who is going to watch me on YouTube, just quickly like, share and subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you are getting all the notifications. My friend, these are the results GradeUp students have produced, and what can be the better result than this? More than 10 people under 10 rank. This is about the GradeUp Super subscription, just one subscription which gives you access to all the structured live courses in the green card. For any further clarification, you can contact this number, and all these things, my friend, you are getting under the GradeUp Super subscription. So thank you so much for all your love and appreciation. Take care of yourself. अपनी हेल्थ का ध्यान रखें, अपनी फैमिली की हेल्थ का ध्यान रखें. बाहर बिल्कुल मत निकलें, घर में बैठें, आराम से अच्छे से खाएं पिएं और अपना ध्यान रखें. GradeUp के साथ सही प्रेप है तो लाइफ सेट है. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Take care.